Всем привет, с вами Germanarih, и мы продолжаем играть в The Outer Worlds. И мы в Тартаре добрались до главного лифта. Я думаю, сейчас уже тут что-то у нас будет намечаться. Я думаю, что сейчас уже что-то будет происходить, потому что да.
All the work you've destroyed, all the money you've cost me. Your misguided crusade has doomed Альциону.
Как это обрекла? Мы с Финиасом спасаем, вон он, кстати, там сзади, спасаем колонию.
That crackpot's plan is ludicrous. We have steps, action items, budgets, and reports. All he's got is a guilty conscience and lofty dreams. In any other circumstance, I'd admire your boldness. In this one, however, I have only two words for you. Fuck off.
Так. Ну-ну, полегче, не надо грубить.
No call for... You unbelievable bastard.
Перевод, конечно.
But you killed her. I'll have you hanged, quartered, bankrupted. Thankfully, you're in a prison already. Find the nearest cell and wait until I'm done here. Then I'll drag you to the executioner myself.
Конечно, я подожду. Ладно, не будем. Я не буду ждать. Колонию надо спасать немедленно.
Is that what you think you're doing? This path of wanton societal disruption? You call that being a savior? I call it sabotage. You know what saboteurs get, Captain? Summary executions. In the next room is the finest automechanical purveyor of death ever made. Try not to scratch the paint with your skull. It was fucking expensive.
Как интересно. Босс? Давайте все обсудим. Роквелл, можно ведь найти решение?
Absolutely not. Akande was always the sociable one, not me. Need I repeat the magic two words?
Ладно, я скоро буду. Я скоро буду. Нас там ждет какой-то босс, да? Вон он. Таран. Слушайте, а у нас коды доступа, но мы, наверное, не все нашли, да? Вот в чем прикол. Мы нашли не все коды доступа. Так, давайте подготовимся. Я думаю, что вот этой пиликалкой мы ничего ему не сделаем. Мне кажется, нужно брать... Ну, блин, ну оно слабенькое, это шоковое орудие, но можно взять и глок. Джок. Не глок, джок. Установку вот сюда, наверное. Так, джок. И попробуем вот этой штукой. Тут запечатано. Так. Ай-яй-яй-яй-яй. Так, подождите. Подождите. Блин. Это не техника, наверное, да? А что там у нас есть? Проницательность. А ничего у нас, наверное, нету такого, да? Навыки незаметны. А, это навыки незаметности. Вероятно. Давай. Так, ну-ка. Воу-воу-воу, бежим. Куда он полетел? Упс. Какой-то урон идет, я что-то... 100 с чем-то или 1400? Где ты? Давай, давай, давай. Перезаряжай. Давайте, может быть, попробуем крупнокалиберным. Воу-воу-воу-воу, да ты чё ты делаешь? Алло, гараж. Где там мои друзья? Так, я валю отсюда. Я вижу, что он готов к тому, чтобы я в него пострелял, но нам надо валить. Единственное, радует, что количество роботов ограничено. Наверное. Да блин, уроды. Собаки зажали. Надо роботов уничтожать. Я не знаю как. Чё мы здесь? Я разве не сохранился где-то там? Внизу. А это, наверное, можно обойти его, да? Мне так кажется. Я могу сразу открыть эту фигню, нет? Давай. И мы его сейчас... Или... Стоп, что там у нас есть? Нет, нет, да, блин. Я аж нажал единичку. Ух, ни хрена себе. Так можно? Давайте, наверное, глоком попробуем. Да на тебе. Порвать, отойди. Ох ты какой! Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой! Давай, порвать. Спасибо, что ты живая еще. Ай-яй-яй-яй. Давай. Давай. Есть. Роботы. Или роботы все умерли? Хух. В общем, Джок это прям... Фух. Прям то, что нужно. Что нам от него осталось? Ключ гибернационной камеры. Да. Тут уже такие апартаменты пошли. А что там? А там обход, да? Да, если бы у нас было вот это вот 100, или там сколько было, 100 или 90 взлома, то могли бы обойти. Но зачем?
See, there's no need to save Halcyon after all. Why must I always do everything myself?
Все, что ли? Давайте спасем. А, блин, он там за стеклом. Нет? Как? Как?
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You lunatic. You broke into the board's own fortress and killed the chairman just to rescue one doddering old man? You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
Ты же понимаешь, что я не дам тебя в обиду, Финиас.
I know, my friend, I know. And now it's finally over. The board's finished. It's only a matter of time before the entire system slips from their grasp. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than
Еще хуже?
ever anticipated.
Что там? Что там еще? Я только хотел открыть пивка и отпраздновать победу.
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Earth is only an idea to us. But that idea is the bedrock the colony is built upon. If people were to find out it's gone dark, the shock could be too much to bear.
I don't want to imagine what'll happen once news gets out. Let's just keep this between us for now.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
Ну, как, подожди. Можно туда слетать и проверить, что там, не? Ну, может, просто там война какая-то или еще что-нибудь такое. Подожди-ка, мне нужно тебя кое-что спросить.
Yes, yes, certainly. I'll help however I can.
Меня кое-что беспокоит. Я знаю про других колонистов. Ну и что я знаю? Ну, это... Я не буду этого спрашивать. Ты упоминал, что пропал какой-то фрегат.
You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them.
Типа там может быть какая-нибудь черная дыра, да, появилась. Как считаешь, что произошло?
I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore. We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Да по-любому, конечно. Можешь на меня рассчитывать, я помогу тебе оживить остальных колонистов.
When I revived you, I thought you were going to help me save this colony. I was wrong. I had our roles reversed, you see. You're the one who's going to save us all. I'm just the one who set you on your path. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
Ну,
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Sanjar's civil liberties and worker-centric policies were slow to catch on with the other corporations. But as Halcyon began its long, arduous journey toward recovery, many of Terra 2's smaller townships started adopting MSI's alternative corporate structure, and eventually became entirely self-sufficient. In the coming years, many of these townships managed to eke by, where otherwise they might have starved. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe.
Иногда она даже действовала в рамках закона.
Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, an MSI subsidiary of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail, or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Да, классно все получилось. И, блин, ну вот все, что мы делали, все привело к благоприятным результатам в конце, да? Вот если бы мы украли тогда не все химикаты, а только там сколько, 26%, да, то сейчас бы оживили не сотни тысяч колонистов, а намного-намного меньше. Поэтому, да, все мы прям все сделали правильно. Единственное, что, ну хотя, с другой стороны, это и хорошо, да, что Аделаида принимала не всех. Потому что зачем новому развивающемуся городу, где люди действительно работают для того, чтобы выжить, для того, чтобы сделать город лучше, то есть энтузиазм, амбиции, зачем им всяких отморозков брать? Ну, это с одной стороны. Ну, а с другой стороны, они померли там все с голоду, остальные, ну, которых она не взяла. Ну, и то, что она отказалась помогать в восстановлении Альциона, это, конечно, уже меня немножко расстроило. Но все остальное прям все класс. Вот такая вот игра. Чувствуется, конечно, что у игры бюджет был не слишком высокий. Это да, это прям вот чувствуется даже по количеству кинематографических роликов, которых было, по-моему, всего 2 в игре. И все. Ну ладно. Все равно игра интересная. Вот. Будем ждать DLC, которые, я уверен, что будут, потому что игра стартовала успешно, очень успешно. Конечно, еще вот эта проблема с кучей предметов каких-то непонятных, зачем столько и в таких количествах. Ну, это ладно. Это ладно, это такое. Тут выбор есть. Хочешь — собирай, не хочешь — не собирай. В общем, да, будем ждать DLC. И пока что всем спасибо за просмотр. И увидимся с вами в следующих сериях.